Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to a very empty Resurrect Autos HQ. Yeah, it's a very empty space at the minute. I need to get some cars in, to be honest with you. I am picking up a car today, but unfortunately it's for someone else. So, but yeah, I'm just, people reach out to me and I like to help others. So that's what I'll be doing today. As well, that's a bit later on in the day. I will show you the car when I go and pick it up and let you know what's happening with it. You know, what's the plan with it. Well, someone's plan with it because he's agreed to let me inform you guys what is going on with it. So that's maybe a bit of interest. And we've got to sort out the Vauxhall Corsa, the steering. There's still a major problem with that steering. I had the tracking done, spot on, perfect, that tracking on that Corsa. And on full lock on the passenger side, it's rubbing on the inner wheel arch. Actually, not the wheel arch. It's rubbing on the inner torsion bar. I think it's rubbing on. So we need to have a look at this. And I think the best thing to do is to, I'll bring it in and I'll show you what's going on. But basically, the steering wheel is so far round. It's not even straight. The wheels are straight, but the steering wheel is still right round. So I think, and I've said this from the beginning, I think the new steering rack that's been fitted in that car has been placed and fitted wrong. You need to position the steering rack central when you're fitting them, so that it's got, when you're doing the steering wheel, it's got even play both sides, and I think it's been fitted wrong. So I think it's going to be steering rack out. Yeah. But on the plus note, on the good note, is that yesterday I took it for an MOT. It flew through, passed straight through, no advisories. I did tell the MOT guy about the steering. He said the steering's not nothing to do with sort of passing the MOT. As long as the car is the tracking's done, which it is, and it's true, and nothing's hitting, then yeah, he's happy to pass it. So we've still got to sort the steering out. But yeah, MOT done, no advisories, straight through. So that's good. Also, the wife's car, absolutely running spot on, no problem at all, no lights come up. So yeah, we'll just have to, I'll keep you informed if any changes. But in a minute, happy wife. So that's good. What else has happened? The white Fiat 500, that is off to the paint shop. So I've only got the Vauxhall Corsa to work on. Once I've done once I've done the steering rack, then that's done as well. So I need to be getting some cars in, guys. I just need to get some more cars in. And the other thing is that I've also fitted a sign on the front of the workshop. So I'll take you out in a second. I'll show you that. It looks incredible. If you follow me on Instagram, you already seen the sign on the wall because I put a picture up. So if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram and you'll see certain things and certain pieces that I do around the shop and around what I'm doing before it comes out on YouTube video. So yeah, let's get into today's video, guys, because there's going to be a few bits and pieces. So let's do this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is the sign on the front of the lock-up workshop. It looks really, really cool, guys. So, as you can see, a couple of cars. We've got to get this in, get this steering rack sorted out, and that's just sitting there up for sale. So, yeah. But I'll show you the sign. How cool does that look? And it's got a spotlight as well. So yeah, in the night that's gonna illuminate the whole sign, but that just looks so good. It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted it cut out around the actual shape of the logo, and then just put on the wall like that, and it just looks so good like that. So yeah, another little addition to it, and it's so, I couldn't believe it. Like, I went to one company for a sign like this, and they quoted me £500 just for that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a metal sheet board. Yeah, and they wanted £500 for that board, for that sign. And I managed to go somewhere else, and they charged me £75. What a difference! What an absolute difference it is. So there you go. Yeah, got it made up. I'm gonna get other stuff made up. I'm gonna get some on the boards and stuff. I might get another one of them made up, and put it in place where that NHS sign is there, the flag. Take that down and then put one up there as well, and then just get some other bits and pieces and sort of board it up like that. So, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about this sign, guys, because it just looks well cool. I love it. Incredible. And it's it feels really nice, you know, pulling up and parking, you know, pulling up to this and seeing this every day. It's just another step forward. It's just a growing thing. You know, things weren't, you know, you can't just do everything at once. You have to slowly grow something, and you know, put a little twist on it, and then sort of add to it as you go along, and that's what I've been doing. But yeah, I'm so chuffed with that sign. But yeah, that's enough of that. Let's go over to, I'll show you that. So the car that I'm picking up today for someone, he's up the road, the mechanic. I just want to show you I'll go up there quickly and I'll show you what he wants the car for, and then I'll explain what's going on. So yeah, let me explain that, and then we need to get this up on the ramp and get that rack out, and see if we can adjust it or sort of position it right. But yeah, leave that for a second and I'll go up to the top and I'll show you what's going on with the car today. Okay guys, so this is the one. I don't know if, you know, any of you remember this van. I showed it a couple of months ago now. It's been sitting here for about 3 or 4 months. And basically this is a brand new van, believe it or not. Everything in it is brand new. Interior, the only thing that's missing is the engine. So basically what happened was, I'll give you a quick recap on what happened to these vans. Ford build these vans like this, and they run out of engines. They didn't want to put any more engines in this model, so I went to the next sort of Mark 3. I think they went up to Mark 3 on this. This is the Mark 2. Went to Mark 3. I could be wrong. I'm probably going to get some comments telling me that I'm wrong, but you know, it's I'm not quite sure, but it's a brand new van anyway. And they built these. You can see that it's a left-hand drive as well. So left-hand drive, all the stuff's in it. It's brand new. And basically, yeah, Ford's run out of the engines. They didn't want to fit any more engines, so they basically just put it to the end of the assembly line, and stacked them all up. There was absolute thousands of them, and eventually they just sold them off. I think it was Germany, somewhere like that. Yeah, and the guy knows where to get them from. He bought them up, bought a few. It's just brand new, absolutely brand new, but there's no engine. So the purpose of today's pickup, the car that I'm picking up, is for the engine and the running gear and the exhaust system and all that sort of bits and pieces that that he can use to fit in this car. The actual owner don't care. He does not care that he's going to be getting a second-hand car. It's not, you know what I mean? Because basically what the owner's going to do on this van, he's going to stick an engine in it, get it running, and then he's selling it and shipping it to South Africa. So yeah, that's where it's going. But you can see it's even got the hubcaps in here, the book, the new book's in here. brand new. It's brand new. So that's the purpose of today's video. The purpose of today's pickup. I don't know what's in the back. What's in the back? Yeah, so today's video, today's pickup is for this van. And I think it's a C-Max. Basically, we were bidding on it yesterday. And yeah, managed to win it for him. He told me what he wanted to go up to, maximum bid. So I said, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll get that for you. But yeah, it's really, really good condition in here. So yeah, so I'll go and pick it up later, and I'll show you what I've got. I'll tell you what it is now. It's a Ford C-Max. Yeah, quite an old one. I think it's 2009 or 2010. Yeah, he got it well cheap. And that was the whole purpose of this, is to get the car cheap, so he can transfer all the stuff out into it. I think he's got to do a lot more to it. I think the wiring loom, there's quite a lot that's got to come out of the other vehicle and put into this one, because yeah, he's got to transfer the ECU, the keys, loads of stuff. It's all got to be transferred, but he can do it all off one vehicle. So yeah, that's the plan with the car. So, but that's a bit later, guys. I'll show you that later when I pick it up. Yeah, I just wanted to explain where it was going, where the car's going, and what it's being used for. So yeah, there we go. He has got another job for me actually over here while I'm over here. This glass in this tailgate on this Mercedes, he wants me to cut out the glass on this Mercedes tailgate and put it into this one. It's got like a smashed rear, so he wants me to put it into that. It's just been boarded up, but yeah, he wants me to transfer it. So that might be a little bit of other content for us guys to get into, but we'll see what happens. But let's get back into the Vauxhall, the Corsa. Let's get back on the ramp, and I'll explain and I'll show you exactly what is going on. Let's try and get this sorted out, guys. Right, so guys, the Vauxhall Corsa is in. We need to get this racking, steering racking and stuff sorted out, because I cannot sell the car with a steering wheel like that driving straight. And that's basically what is happening. So I had the tracking done, and I've now got to redo it again, because I've got to mess about with the actual steering rack itself. So I've got to go and take it back to them after we've messed about with this rack. So what I think's happened is, so from underneath, the steering rack is new. I think I've showed you before. I'll quickly show you again. Right. So you can see here that rack is brand new. Yeah, the steering rack at the back, the black gloss one. It looks to me like there's no way that's the original. Like, no way. So that's been changed at some point. So basically, what I think's happened, whoever fitted that rack in place didn't centralise the rack in the central point first and then put it in place, because what you need to do with those racks, I've looked into all this and I've spoke to the mechanic at the end, and he said he agrees it needs to be done before you put it in place. Any rack, steering rack, you need to make sure that it's the center point. So basically, the play from left to right is equal, and then you know that's the central point, and then that's when the rack needs to go up into place and hit the spline. So I just don't think it's been centralised properly before it was put in, and whoever done it has tried to mess around with the tie rod ends and the tie rods and stuff, and to sort of try and move it about. I think they've done that to try and get it centralised and straightened properly, but I just don't think it's right. So whatever happens, this rack has got to come out. If someone's fitted the wrong rack, then I'll have to get another one, and they're about £60 plus VAT from Euro Car Parts. So I'll just get one of those ordered. It'll be here in a couple of hours, and then I can swap it over. But I think whatever happens, like I said, has got to come out. So let's take it out. Let's have a look at it. Let's see if we can centralise it, get it to the centre, the centre point. See what's going on, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I've never taken out a steering rack before. It doesn't really seem that hard. There's no hydraulics running to it. There's no other sort of pipes and stuff. I've checked it all over. So it's just a case of disconnecting it from each side on the actual on the wheel, on the hub. Disconnect it at each side. Go inside the actual car, and there's some bolts on the inside. Take them off, and it should just drop down, and then slide it back out. That's my theory anyway, guys. Whether or not it's going to work out like that, I do not know. But let's just get into it, and let's get this out. So, yeah, and then we can find out, or hopefully find out, if we can get this sorted out. So it could be a quick fix, or it could be a all-day jobby. But let's find out what is going on. So I'll set you up, and let's do this. Right, guys, quick update. Let you know what I've been doing. So I've took the tie rod ends off, both sides. So they're off, free. And there was actually 2 bolts holding the rack in place. One each side, big bolts, and they go right through here, up through into the rack, and then bolted on. So these bolts here, they're quite large, so I had to go right through. The bottom part was a E20 at the bottom, and then just an 18mm bolt at the top. So yeah, those 2 are dropped down. So that this side of the car is kind of ready to go. I just need to get the top part free on the bolts, and hopefully it should just pull down. I'm not sure. I'll have a look. But yeah, I think I need to drop the car down now, get on the inside, get the steering column released and that sort of stuff on the inside of the car. I don't know if we can see it from here. Let's have a quick look if we can see it. Probably good. Yeah, you can see it down here. So I've got to get this column here released, the bolts taken off here, undo these 2 bolts here, and that should be us to go. So I'll undo these, and then I'll come back to you in a sec, guys, but let's see how we go. Right, okay, just a quick update, guys. So, I managed to get it dropped down. You see, I've undone, there was only 2 bolts, these 2 here. Can't see bloody enough, hold on. So there's these 2 bolts here. I'm not sure what size they are. What size are these bolts? Right, these bolts are an E16 head. So yeah, got those off and then managed to get it down lower. The trouble is, I'm having trouble underneath. I'm struggling to get it past, so you can see it's down. I can't really get it in there, guys, but it's kind of down and it's laying, but I can't juggle it through this gap because I've got this bar in the way here, and the rack's got like a spline on it, and it's too high, it's too wide, it's like that wide, so I can't pass it through here. So it looks like this subframe has got to be dropped a little bit to allow it to come down. I'll have to put a jack underneath the subframe and then lower it enough. I think it's only like 3 or 4 bolts each side, so I'll try and undo those both sides, and let's get this rack out. Yeah, so let's have a go and see if we can get it dropped. But yeah, it's becoming a little bit of a fiddly job at the minute, but I'm cracking on with it, guys, and I'm not gonna quit and give up on it. It's just fiddly, really fiddly. There, so you can see it's dropped out of that little hole above, and it's just trying to get it sort of, you know, out. But I'll go ahead and start undoing these bolts. I'll get a jack in place. I'll have to lower the car down, and yeah, we'll go from there. But a little bit fiddly, but I'll crack on, guys. Let's get this done. Get it out. Well, guys, it's out, and that was that was more of a pain than I thought. It was fiddly for a tiny little bar. Really, those 2 ends were causing problems. I should have just took those off, really, but managed to squeeze it out in one piece as it is. So yeah, it was just like to undo the drop link as well, because that was holding it, sort of the subframe, because it was all connected to the torsion bar here, and anti-roll bar, sorry. Yeah, so it's all connected on, so I'm out of breath a little bit, so bear with me if I'm talking a bit of rubbish, but yeah, I struggled, but I got it out, got it through in the end, so there we go. Right, so now what I'm going to do is, I'll be honest with you, I've never took one of these out before, and I've never messed around with it, and yeah, don't really know what I'm doing. I think I should be sort of, I should be turning it all the way. I think you're supposed to turn it so it's all the way to the left or the right, either, but turn it so it's all the way to one way, and then you're supposed to sort of work out how many turns it is the other way, and then you just so let's just say it's one way, and then you turn it completely the opposite way, and it takes 10 turns. So 5 turns should be central. that's my theory. I'm hoping that I'm right. I'm hoping that that's what's going to take. But I am going to take it to the to the guy at the end, the mechanic, to see if I'm right, and just to clarify that is the right way of doing it, and then go from there. But yeah, let me go and see him quickly. I'll come back and then we'll just see what the actual issue is and see if he can point me in the right direction. But I think that's what I've got to do. And as you can see, these splines, if it was just like this, little grooves all the way around, it wouldn't matter because you can adjust it. But because you can see there's a flat spot here and there's a groove here, so that will only go one way. You cannot sort of, turn it to position you want. You just can't do it. So I think that's been set up. This has been set up and pushed in the wrong position. So yeah, let me do that. Let me go and see him. Let me come back and let's see if we can get this sorted out. If not, someone's replaced it with the wrong size. But the trouble is that I haven't got the original one to compare it. So I've got to do a bit more digging, a bit more investigating if I go down that route. But let me just see if we can get this one sorted out. So bear with me, guys, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, guys, update. So I'm back from the guy at the end, and this is what we've got. So this is the actual spline that comes out of the actual steering rack, and you can see that those little grooves there at the bottom, they sit into the rack's teeth, and that's what moves. When you're using a steering wheel and turning the steering wheel like this, it's moving the rack from left to right. So yeah, you can see that there's like a little grooves that actually sit into the rack itself. So on the top of here, you can see there's a flat spot on that side here and a groove on the other side. Now that'll only go in one way on the connection down here. So what I've got to do is basically get the steering straight. So the steering wheel was like this to begin with. So I've got, as I'm turning this, let me put the key in so it don't stops the lock. Right. So as I'm putting it straight like this, it's turning the thing at the bottom, the knuckle at the bottom, the thing. It's turning the knuckle at the bottom, so in a position. So like if we say that's now straight, so now that knuckle, as that comes up through the hole, you can see that needs to be set in a certain position to match that knuckle there to connect onto it. Yeah, if you know what I'm saying. So all I've got to do now is kind of take a picture or work out like when it's like this. Yeah, that's the position of where it comes up. So I've got to work out now how it's sitting on this bar on that knuckle there. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of messing around, but I think I'm going to be able to get there. And I think this is the main problem. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping, guys. It's the main problem. I could be completely wrong and it's something else and we have to change the rack. But it's just a case of, it's just a puzzle. Like, it's just a puzzle. We have to work out the puzzle and work out why there's an issue, why it's a problem, and solving the actual the puzzle and the problem. So, and that's what it's all about. And that's kind of, I love it. I love doing this kind of thing because I like enjoying trying to solve the problem and trying to solve the issue rather than replace. So let me have a little fiddle around with this. Let me take some pictures of where that sits when it comes up and stuff like that. And I need to work that out. I'll go back and then we'll see if we can set it in the right position and then come back and then let's see if it works. And yeah, let's see if let's see if it actually does work. So yeah, bear with me and I'll come back to you soon. Right, guys, I think this is it. So we basically, you saw me took it off, and what we did was we had to unscrew it inside there, and then make sure that the distances this there and there are the same. Made sure this was lining up on the inside with the steering wheel. As the steering wheel comes down, that's got the bar's got to be lined up with this certain way, because you see there's a little notch. There's a little notch here and there's a little flat spot at the back, so that can only go one way on the steering rack. Not steering rack, the steering spline. And this has got a little notch here, a little plastic thing that can only go one way as well. As you put it in, it sits like this, and then you've got a little flat. See that little flat bit here? There's a little flat bit here, and that's got to line up with this to say that that's in line. So it's looking promising at the minute, but you never know until you start. You put it in place and it's all back together. So let's do that. Let's get it in. I'll line it all up. I'll do it all up, and let's see if this solves it. But it's looking promising at the minute, guys. So fingers crossed. Let's get it in place and let's see if this does it. Right, guys, I think this is an absolute success. I think this has worked. So don't get me wrong, this still needs to go for tracking again. Like, I've already paid for the tracking once. I've got to go and get it done again. It's just one of them things. It has to be done. I'm not going to leave it like this. But the actual wheels, are straight now, ish. They're not rubbing on both sides, so that's good. So, and the steering wheel is absolutely spot on, completely straight. It's sitting in a really, really good position. I just put it back together underneath. I know you can't see, sorry, it's a bit dark. But yeah, put it all back together. And yeah, the wheels are not rubbing at all. So I think that was a success. But until we get it on the floor, until I take it for a quick drive, and until the tracking gets done, it's not 100% success until all those points are good and I'm happy with them, guys, because at the end of the day, it's got to drive straight and it's got to track straight, drive straight. The steering wheel's got to be straight. It's all got to line up. And I think, and I've said this from the very beginning, I think that the steering wheel was out was because that wasn't lined up properly in the beginning. That steering rack was not positioned up correctly. So there we go. That is another lesson learnt, and it's another lesson from me learnt, and something else that I now know that I can sort out if I come across it again in the future. So absolute success. I'm really, really chuffed for that. So I think I'll get it down and I'll have a quick drive about, see what it's like, see if it drives straight, and fingers crossed it does. And I'll let you know what happens with this. But for now, we're going to leave this because it's time to go and pick up the new, I'm not going to say new project because it's just a project for someone else. But I'm going to pick it up and I'll show you around it. We'll have a look at it. I'll show you what you paid for it, because I was doing the bidding for him yesterday. But obviously he saw me, he was with me when I was bidding, and he was happy with the price. So yeah, let's go and get it. I'll bring it back and let's see what it is and we'll go from there. So there we go, guys. Ford C-Max, 2009. You can see the damage on the front here, bumper, but he's not worried about the damage because obviously it's not being used for that. It's not being repaired. It's just being used for parts. Damage at the back there, which looks easy repairable, to be honest with you. And then just put another door on it, but it looks alright. It's a decent little car. So yeah, there we go. It's got low mileage, guys, as well. Look at the mileage on this. 60,500. And starts really well. It's got like a nice trim to it. It's got like a, you know, well, actually it's not nice. But yeah, it's a white little car. Be a white little runaround for someone, but you know, parts car it is. So there we go. That's the car. Just picked up for the mechanic down the end, but I think he wants me to do the screen now, the rear boot tail lid glass on that Mercedes. So let me get this out of the way, take the trailer back, and then I'll get the Mercedes in, and then yeah, we'll start cutting out the glass for that. So let's carry on. And let's do this. Right, guys, I just dropped the car off to the guy at the end, and he's absolutely over the moon with it, to be honest with you. And the inside looks absolutely spotless. It's a really nice condition car. It's just that, you know, at first he was, you know, he needed it for a reason, and now he's thinking, shall I just buy a bumper and get the repairs done and flog it for 1,500 quid, things like that. But you know, you can see now why I do what I do, and we do salvage and get these salvage cars back on the road, because if you get it, you've got to get these cars at the right price to begin with to make money at the end when you sell them. That's it, bottom line. So, and he did, you know, he did get it for a really good price, 550 quid, all done, and he's got a car there, all the parts he can use. But anyway, I can't now go and get that Mercedes over and do the tail glass because I've just run out of time, guys. It's just, yeah. But what I thought I'd do is I'll take this, shoot this round the corner quickly. Let's get this tracking done. I'll come back and I'll tell you what happened, and hopefully they can get this sorted out. But yeah, bear with me for now, and I'll see you in a bit. Right, guys, I am back. And yeah, tracking is all sorted, all lined up. Yeah, it's all spot on now. Drives straight. Steering wheel straight, there's no rubbing on the full lock, both sides. So I am very, very happy, and I think, yeah, very good successful day today with all the bits and pieces. But this was obviously the main issue that I want to get done with the rack, and that is now done. So happy days. Yeah, well chuffed for that. So there we go. That is now ready. Well, apart from a clean, I'll give it a clean and give it a spruce up inside and out. Yeah, got it for sale. So yeah, stick it up for sale. Move on to the next one. I'm looking at other cars next week, guys. So there's quite a few cars going through the auction, and yeah, we'll see what happens with those. I have actually got, I will tell you now, I have actually got the salvage auction place that I use. I've got head office from that place coming out to me next week. They want to have a talk to me. They contacted me a couple of days ago and said, look, can we come out and see you? We've got some ideas we want to run through with you. It'd be great to come out and see your shop. workshop, see what's going on, see where you're working, what you're doing. So, yeah, that's exciting news, really, because you never know what's going to come of that, and whether or not, you know, what their ideas are, what they're thinking about, sort of their ideas are. But yeah, you never know, guys. But I will keep you informed and let you know, as I will always, and let you know what happens with that meeting next week. And yeah, you just never know what's going to happen with it. But I'll let you know. But for now, that is going to be the end of today's video. It is obviously Friday. I hope you all have a great weekend. Weather's supposed to be nice throughout the whole of the UK. So, yeah, have a great weekend, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.